Welcome to Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial, the home for financial advice in a language you can understand. Created by Marc Freedman of Freedman Financial, he and his team of certified financial planner professionals will discuss timely topics that help individuals and families make smart financial decisions. And now, get ready for this week's edition of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial.
Yeah, welcome back to another edition of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial. My name is Marc Freedman.
And I'm Marion Gilman.
And we're here to provide you with some financial advice in a language you can understand. Well, the Patriots weren't all that successful in the Super Bowl.
Shh, don't say
But
anything.
you know what? Win some, lose some. The Patriots have had a nice run.
Yes.
And I will tell you, if you were wondering how disappointed people are here in New England, they're really not, to tell you the truth.
I think everybody looks at how positive or how much progress they made over the course of the year, because nobody expected them to even be near the Super Bowl, right?
I feel like as people talk about the end of the Super Bowl right now, it's like I feel like a St. Louis fan who, no matter whether they won or lost, it was like they gave it a good shot. It was a really nice try. And here in Boston, we're generally like, you either win the championship or you're a lousy team.
Right.
And that wasn't the case this year with the Patriots. They did okay,
so.
and so we had that going for us.
And we still have the Olympics going on, so you can.
There's Olympics are going. Have you watched the Olympics?
A little bit.
I don't know that
Not
anybody's
much.
watching the Olympics
I
unless you
watched
have
I watched some skating.
unless you have some skin in the game. You know somebody who was in the Olympics, or you got a family member or whatever.
They are remarkable athletes.
Oh, there's no question about it. No question about it.
Remarkable.
It's just, it might be on some of the TVs in the sports bars.
Yeah.
But I still think the Patriots, the Celtics and the Bruins get more watch time in a bar
absolutely.
than does the Olympics right now.
Absolutely.
Who's
in
watching
New
them?
England. Actually, I know a lot of people who watch.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all.
Absolutely.
It's just me, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I have zero interest. I really do. But I remember when I was a kid. We were so amped up for the Winter Olympics. We knew it was coming.
Oh, really?
We wanted to watch everything.
That's so funny because as a kid, I never watched it.
And you know what? And maybe part of the reason is I can't remember the last time I actually chose to watch network television.
That is, honestly, we rarely do that, ever.
I'm
We
going
turn
to
on our
Netflix.
TV and
I'm going to Netflix. I'm going to, any of the streaming channels.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have YouTube TV. I watch the Celtics on my YouTube TV, maybe a news
Very
station,
nice.
but I can't remember the last time I watched a network program, and perhaps that's why I don't even think that it's on.
If I watch it, it's never as it's running. It's always on demand.
Yeah.
If I watch a network.
I don't know what time. Remember we used to know, what was Thursday night was must-see TV night, right?
And you had to rush home.
Right, because you knew things were happening.
Right. Until we got video recorders.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we could record a show.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what time a network show is on because I don't even know what shows are on the networks these days. Because Netflix and all these others have their own TV series.
Yeah.
And I can watch them all at once. I don't have to wait till next week to catch the next edition.
Truly amazing.
It really is. Well,
How things have changed.
yeah, you know what is also truly amazing is some of the revelations that I kind of saw this week. I was visiting Florida. I visited probably 12 different clients down in Florida during my visit there. We were there for we were also invited to visit be part of the Forbes Best in State Teams event that was at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami, but also got to meet some clients. And then I got back and I saw some other clients this week, and it made me, and it was a bit of a wake-up call. Have you ever heard of the term gray divorce?
Yes, I have.
I know you have. I was just asking the audience, and when I raised this issue to a few people, they'd never heard of this term before. You want to share what gray divorce is all about, Marion?
Well, gray divorce is those who get divorced after they are, when they're over age 50 probably is the cutoff.
Kids are out of the house. They're on their own.
Yeah. So, and I think that is one of the key factors that cause some gray divorce. A lot of people stay together for the kids. I know a couple of my son's friends' parents sort of were together, and then once the kids left home, they got divorced. It was interesting. So I think a lot of times that, they find that actually after raising kids, they don't really have much in common.
Yeah, you know, for years, we used to ask on the radio show that we used to do, we used to talk about when clients would come to the office and you're thinking about retirement. You know, one's doing work, maybe somewhere, one has activities that they do in another place. You see each other maybe for coffee in the morning. You come home, dinner at night, and that's about it. And now all of a sudden, if you're both divorced, you're going to see a lot, I mean, both retired, I'm sorry, you're going to start seeing a lot of each other.
Yeah.
And so the question that I would ask of these people was, what is it that you enjoy doing together besides going out to eat?
A lot of people never cultivated activities together, you know, particularly while the kids were growing up, other than, you know, moving the kids from place to place and
yeah,
taking them to their activities or going to watch their activities.
Yeah, because I can't tell you how many people have told us that they were going to retire and they were going to move to Florida, and it would be great because the grandkids would come and visit, the kids would visit.
No. Does that happen?
No. And people are finding out more and more. The kids aren't coming.
No.
And if they're coming, they don't want to stay with you.
Right.
They want to go to Disney. They want to go to activities. They want to do stuff.
Right.
Or even if you have the lake house up at home, the kids aren't going to visit the lake house so much anymore. They want to do their own things.
You know, as the kids get into their teenage years in particular, they're busy with their friends, activities, work, whatever it might be. So a lot of our clients find that the grandkids, they just don't spend nearly as much time as they thought they would once they get older.
So let me share some of the statistics that's kind of eye-opening right now. Because remember, we talked about the fact that the baby boomer generation, those that are retiring, is the largest population in America right now.
Right.
So get this. The divorce rate for couples over the age of 50 has doubled over the past 3 decades. And the rate of couples 65 and over has tripled.
Which is amazing.
And in 2022, the divorce rate amongst adults 65 and older was about 15%, roughly triple the rate since 1990.
It's truly amazing,
and so I want you to, well, go ahead.
I have to say, one of the things that amazed me in reading those statistics is it's typically the female who initiates the divorce, not the male.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting with all of this talk about divorce, did you know that the overall divorce rate in America has fallen by about 3%? And so it's really interesting what is causing this gray divorce to happen. And one of the things that you mentioned, Marion, is women are finding their independence.
Absolutely. You know, interestingly enough, my son called me up the other day, and he was watching Mad Men. And he said, did this really happen? I said, well, that was a little bit before my time. I wasn't in the work world in the 1960s. But, yeah, I mean, things were a lot different back then. Now, then he said to me, you know, I said, maybe not to that extreme, but yes, I think that life was lived more along those lines than you might see today. He looks at me and says, you know, none of the women I know would ever put up with any of this.
Yeah.
Today.
Right. But we still see with many of the clients that come walking in the door that there is generally one person in that relationship who handles all of the financial issues.
Yeah.
Someone is delegated to the household chores.
Yeah.
So inside and outside. And there are still people where they will talk that, you know, as a grandfather, I never changed my grandchild's diaper or was left alone home with my grandchild because my wife wouldn't let me. All of those things are still there. I would not say it's true today as much with the younger grandparents.
Right.
But
the ones who had just retired.
Right. But for the great-grandparents, that was very much the case.
Absolutely.
And
my father never changed a diaper.
Yeah.
Ever.
I don't know if my father did either, to tell you the truth. But
not the grandkids and not the kids.
So the thing that struck me that made me want to talk about this was some of the couples that I visited with. As they've gotten older, they've realized that they have more money than they know what to do with. And they've just, over 50, 60, 70 years of marriage, they've just gotten into their routine.
Yeah.
But what they're finding is that some of them are usually one person in that relationship has an urge to want to do something. Maybe it's travel more. Maybe it's buy a new car. Maybe it's whatever it might be. And the other spouse has zero interest. And a lot of that, especially when you're in your 70s and 80s, has to do with travel.
Yes.
Now, a lot of it is dictated by one's health and mobility and the inability to do some of that travel. Yet one spouse is still active and can do things, well, while another spouse may not feel as comfortable about walking or participating or engaging with people or whatever else it might be.
Or even have the desire to go other places. I mean, there's a lot of that as well.
Yeah. So I was sitting with a couple, one who was saying, you know, I really have this desire to get out and travel. I want to do more of it. I feel like at 75 years old, I still haven't seen all the places that I want to see.
And you know, Mark, just in general, we recommend that if there are places you want to go, you do that earlier, not later. Don't leave it for another 10 years, you know, when you're 75.
Don't think you have to have a savings account that builds up over time before you can go.
That's
you have the money and go. But then you hear
do it while you can.
The other spouse says, I just don't want to go. I'm very happy in my community. I don't need to see anything. I don't want to go out.
So what do you do?
And so what do you do? So it was interesting when I was talking to a few people, and one of the things I had suggested was, you know, traveling solo is a very real thing that happens today. I mean, men and women. Laura and I travel, and we meet many people who are traveling solo. Or there's a group of girlfriends or a group of guy friends that choose to travel just to get out there. And so I was asking, I said, well, would you consider solo traveling? And he said, you know, I'm actually looking at it and considering it. And then I asked the spouse, well, how do you feel about that? She says, he's not going anywhere. She wouldn't let him go. And I'm trying to understand why. And
well, there are some spouses that are highly dependent on the other to be there for them when they need it.
And it's not like this spouse, in certain cases, they take care of all of the household and, if you will, domestic chores, for lack of a better term.
Right.
The cooking, the laundry, whatever. But the spouse does all the driving. Make sure that all the bills are paid. Make sure that other things happen. And if that partner isn't there, that changes this, the roles and everything that has to happen while someone isn't there.
Well, I think you get into such a routine as well that breaking that routine can be really, or the thought of doing that can be very disorienting to some of the elder.
And Marion, what you and I see a lot, because we deal with 24 deaths or so in the office every year, is we find that spouse that was handling everything and didn't delegate to the other spouse, that other spouse is totally lost. Now, I'm not saying it's the man or the woman, because in the women's case, in the women's case, oftentimes, traditionally, and I'm not saying that's the case today, but traditionally it had been that the man was paying the bills. The man made the big purchases, a car, anything that had to happen. But within the house, whether it was cooking, laundry, the decorating of the house, painting of the walls, the woman was handling that. And so if the husband passes away, I remember a widowed client coming in, and she says, I got this cell phone bill that says our cell phone term is expiring. What do I do? Didn't know. Has never purchased a car before, because for whatever reason they felt like the salesperson, and probably was in many cases, talking to the guy. Yet on the other side, the woman passes away, and the guy doesn't know how to go to the supermarket and buy a piece of meat.
Or make himself any
food. Or do any of the household chores. And it's one of the things that becomes an opportunity when the kids are gone is the opportunity to learn from one another, to find things that you enjoy doing together, but also learn about what you've been doing over the past 30 to 50 years while you were raising the kids. And I'm finding that when you don't want to do that,
Right.
that is what's leading to this gray divorce.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't have anything in common anymore and you can't find anything in common, that's a tough situation to be in. And I think a lot more women nowadays are prepared to go out on their own.
Right.
They're not as scared as they might have been with my mother's generation, say,
Right. And there are so many organizations and groups
Yes.
to support both sides. Look, I'm thinking of a client right now who got divorced because he wanted to go see live music. He loved going to see live music, and she hated it, absolutely despised it. She wanted to do her gardening. She wanted to meet with her girlfriends and go shopping and do things.
Right.
Had no desire to go to live music.
Yeah.
And they finally got to the point where they said, we're just really good roommates, I guess, because we're just living totally separate lives.
Isn't that
And
sad?
it was sad,
Yeah.
but what they both realized was that they had the resources, and I'm not encouraging people to do this, but they had the resources to actually split up and do things independently. And 2-3 years down the road, they're actually happier than ever before.
Which is wonderful, right?
Right?
I mean,
The kids all get along. They come together with the kids. It's become a great relationship. But it
and
just
if
bothers
everyone
me.
can be happier,
Yeah, it
right?
just bothers me so much when I see these couples in just their 70s. You got 25 years in front of you,
Yes.
perhaps, where you're just going to be happy being miserable together.
Yeah, it's so sad. So, I mean, everybody should take a look, take a step back, prepare yourself for the retirement years,
yeah.
before you get there.
Because I think I see so many couples making assumptions about, well, if we did split up or if this happened, I wouldn't get this or this wouldn't happen. A lot of that stuff isn't so true anymore.
Right.
There is a lot of equitable ways to figure out what the next phase is, whether it's splitting up or not, or whether it's finding how to learn from one another so you can be better together. And if there's not a conscious effort in doing that and being able to talk about it, I mean, it's miserable. And I just see some of our clients and people that we've known just rot away because they're just not happy.
Very sad situation.
And-
I mean, very sad.
And
And finances can help you come to terms with how to make your life better and happier as you go into your senior years.
yeah, I mean, I want our clients to live life to their fullest. I want you to live life to your
Everybody
fullest and
should.
find success in all that you've created. And when we get, in financial planning, the business here gets kind of personal. We get to know everything about everybody's situation.
Too much sometimes.
Yeah, but man,
Right.
I just see that so many people are scared to take the leap because they say, oh, I'm already 70-something years old.
It's the unknown. I
Right.
mean, a lot of people are afraid of the unknown.
I'm not suggesting it's split up is the decision, but to share and be willing to open up amongst one another about what is it that's bothering you? What is it that you want? What can make you happy? And how do we make this work effectively
Sure.
together?
Absolutely.
That's called financial advice in a language you can understand. If now's the time for you to get serious about your financial planning and investment management needs, we hope you'll give us a call. Our phone number, 978-531-8108. That's 978-531-8108. Or visit us on the web, on the web. That's freedmanfinancial.com. That's Freedman.
Two E's and a D.
Financial.com. You can go to the bottom of any page on our website, put in your name, your email address, and we'll send you our free weekly newsletter that lands in your inbox every Friday at 10:30 in the morning. We wish you all the best. Valentine's Day is this week. Actually, when you see this, Valentine's Day will have already passed. And so
hope it was a happy
hope it was a
one.
happy Valentine's Day
And
for
that
you.
you're not on the road.
And yeah, absolutely. I hadn't even put that correlation together
There
until
you
we were
go.
just
well, actually,
closing
not,
out.
Well, good thing this doesn't fall before Valentine's
That's
Day.
right. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you again next week with more financial advice in a language you can understand. Have a great day.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
During today's episode of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial, your host may have discussed specific financial planning and investment ideas that are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations. Please remember that investing involves risk and may include loss of principal. Always consult a certified financial planner professional, qualified attorney, or tax advisor prior to investing to determine what is appropriate for you. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.